What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today. I know if you saw the title of the video, this is a little different from usual, but Heather and I had a renovation project that we wanted to do here at the house, and we wanted to take you guys along with us so you could kind of see the process. And hopefully it'll entertain and maybe you'll learn a little something by what we're doing, but we're going to renovate the hall bath. And so now I'm going to kick it over to Heather and let her tell you about kind of why we were doing it and some of the things that we're going to do to it. All right, let's go.
Welcome to our bathroom tour before we completely renovate this hall bath. So this is our hallway / guest bath. It's other than being a little bit out of date because of course this bathroom hasn't been redone in about 10 years since we moved into it when we bought it from a flipper. It has several problems that we need to sort out as we're redoing this bathroom. So come on in. So right off the bat, we have this vanity here in this kind of nook, which I really like. I think it's very pleasing to look at, but a couple of problems here. One, when I redid the light here, I didn't sand down where the previous light was very well. So it's a little lumpy and bumpy that needs to be addressed. We plan to repaint the entire bathroom to a different color. And then problem number 2 is this vanity. We're not sure when or how, but the vanity got a little bit damaged, as you can see. So we need a new vanity. We've purchased one. It's downstairs. It's ready to go. So this vanity is going to be replaced. If you'll take a look at the flooring, flooring is not that bad. It's very neutral. The flipper that redid our home chose very neutral colors pretty much everywhere. However, when he did the tile on the floor, he did not seal the tile. So if you take a look in some spots, you'll see that it's crumbling, the grout in between the tiles, and so we're going to rip it all out, put something new. It'll look great. We do have some obstacles in our way. When he did the toilet, he grouted the toilet to the floor. So that's going to be fun when we go to demo. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can save the toilet and we don't have to get a new one because it's fine. It works fine. It looks fine. It's all good. Let's go into the shower. So the shower is where we bathe the dogs. So as you can see, we got this nice little attachment. So that was a little bit easier. But since we're remodeling here, when we redo the tile on the walls, we can also put in a new fixture that will solve this issue so that we have a much more pleasing and fashionable shower head and one that has a detachable arm so that it's easier for us to bathe the dogs and everything. Still have the same problem in here in the shower that we do on the tile floors, where you'll notice around the tub and up the walls, there's some cracking and stuff. So we need to address those issues down there in the corners and along the bottom of the tub. This nook is nice. Like, it's nice to have that storage and stuff, but when he installed this, he did not angle it so that the water would run out. Instead, all the water runs back to the wall, so the water kind of stays there. So that's another issue that we need to solve when we are redoing this shower as well. But those are some of the challenges and stuff that we're facing.
such a great job with this tile so far. I mean, look at it. It looks amazing. One thing I want to do is shout out the tile saw that we're using for this, because I've been so impressed with it. It's over there drying right now just off camera, but it's this Prowler 4.5-inch tile saw. Not a sponsor or anything, but this thing was $65 and it is done so well beyond their regular porcelain subway tile. I could cut through that like no problem, but it even was able to get these super thick ceramic hand painted tiles that we're using for the floor and just cut through them without any problem. And like I said, it's only $65 for a wet saw and you're not having to use one of those scoring tile things. It's been incredible. So if you need a tile saw and you're doing all this, go get it. So while I've been busy doing animation, Heather really took it on herself to do most of this tile work, and she did an absolutely splendid job, especially for her first time. Like, it's all laid out so well, it looks so good, and I mean, she did a great job with the pattern. It's just about as good as you could make it. I mean, the pattern's not perfect because it's a hand-painted tile, so they don't quite line up everywhere, but no fault of hers. That's just how hand-painted stuff goes, and that's part of the charm of it. It just looks really cool like that. But yeah, I mean, she came in here having never done anything like this before and worked so hard and did such an amazing job. I am so proud of what she's accomplished. But now I need to finish up the last little bit, which is the grouting. So we're gonna get started on that. We went ahead and got pre-mixed grout because I didn't want to worry about mixing it, because the reason we're doing this whole thing is that the person that flipped our house didn't do a good job grouting, didn't mix it properly, and all the grout started cracking like just a few months after it was all done. So I didn't want to worry about messing things up myself after we've taken this whole place to the studs to redo everything and add in that Schluter system and make it all waterproof and really nice. So we just went ahead and bought the premix grout. It's more expensive, but again, I don't have to worry about the same thing happening over and over. Now, the first stage you have to do is sponging off everything to make sure it's nice and clean before you start grouting. And you want your sponge not dripping in water. Like, this is damp, but no water drips off of it. So you just do that and you clean off the walls and dip it out in a bucket of water as you go. Super simple first step, but let's get to it. All right, so now that that's finished, we need to get to the actual grouting. Here's where you'd look on your bag and follow the mixing instructions. If you got that, like I said, we got the pre-mix, so I'm not gonna have to worry about that. I just open it up and go. But one thing that is really helpful is if you go at a 45-degree angle from your lines, like, it doesn't matter what your float's at, but if you make a 45-degree, you're less likely to get your float stuck when you're going left and right, putting in all that grout. So just something to keep in mind. Again, you don't have to do it, but it makes your life a little easier. Let's get to this. Okay, now that we're done grouting, we got to clean up. And you may, if this is your first time, have to do this as you go because the grout starts setting up. But when you notice things start drying out, you want to take a wet sponge, one like this, and just start wiping down everything. And it doesn't have to have a lot of water in it. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be dripping out water. Having it where it doesn't drip anything is fine. That's worked for me. But you just want to start scrubbing in like nice circular motions, getting out all of that grout that's on the tile. And it also does a good job of smoothing out the grout in between the tiles. So it's going to look really good when it's all said and done. But yeah, you just want to make sure you do that at least first pass before everything dries. Otherwise, you're in for a world of hurt, and you'll have to get a little grout scraper and clean everything off. And you may end up having to do that anyway, just because if you're DIY and you don't do this all the time, you're not really going to be super fast at it, and that's okay. Like, whatever. Now, you saw me cleaning out everything, right? So one thing that you need to remember is make sure that the bottom of this thing is really clean, like really, really clean, because if it's not smooth and clean, then it's not going to work, right? So take some time, really clean out. Honestly, cleaning up is a step that I feel like a lot of people doing this kind of work forget, and it makes their life much harder the day after, next day, all of that stuff, because it just builds and builds and builds. So make sure you do a good job cleaning up everything. Okay, so there we have the cleanups done, and it's ready to go. We didn't, obviously, you saw, get to the floor today, but like I said, if you don't do this all the time, you're not gonna be super fast at it, and that's fine. Everybody starts somewhere, right? Like, totally okay. And in between the floor and shower, great stopping point. So no worries there. But I can't do it tomorrow. I've got a busy day with work and then meetings and stuff tomorrow. So it'll be the day after, and we'll get back to finishing up everything and then moving in the new vanity that we have and moving the toilet back in and all that kind of stuff. And Then I just have to wait on Heather to pick out what fixture she wants, and we will be done. So let's get to it. Next time you see me, it'll be a few days later. So here we are the next day. I said I wasn't going to be able to do it today, but all of my work finished up early. So it's about 3 p.m. now, and I'm just going to work for the rest of the afternoon and finish up all of this stuff. I just put back on my same clothes because who cares? Let's get to it. Just like that, we've got a finished bathroom. Now that the grout is all done, I have to do the truly gross part. And that is using this to scrape up all of that gross wax around the toilet seal so we can install a new one. Not something I was looking forward to, but let's get to it. Okay, now that we've got all the wax off, we need to install these little bolts. You need to take these bolts, and they come with these little plastic washers, and they're not meant for anything other than stabilizing. Like, see, they're a really tight fit, but you do that, and you see it's got a funny little head here, and it's so you can get it into a locking channel here, and you just take it, twist it around, and then pull it through to the tight spot. Now, this is ready to go on. This is the new waxless seal that we got. I mean, it does have wax here, but the top part's not, and the part that connects to the toilet isn't. The next step is taking the toilet, now that I've got it back upstairs, and setting it on the flange. You'll have to bear with me because I can't do this and film at the same time, and I'm dying a little bit because it was pretty heavy to get in here by myself. Okay, the toilet's installed and the tank is filling up right now. And then we just have to flush it and, of course, test for leaks to make sure nothing's coming out around the edges. It should be good because you don't have a lot of wiggle room with these toilets, but you just never know. Something might have gotten caught up in there while you were doing it, especially if you're doing it by yourself. So you just want to do this. This is super important. All right, now I'm just going to give it another one for safety. Flushing. And we're checking. Well, it seems good to me. I didn't see any leaks both times I flushed it, so I think we're good to go. And all of that hard work is finished. Now, obviously we still have the fixtures to do because Heather hasn't picked those out yet, but we've got everything grouted and reinstalled. It all looks so good. The toilet's free of leaks. Shelves are back on the wall. And with that, we're done, except for the fixtures, because Heather's got to figure out what she wants. So when she gets done with that in a couple of weeks, whenever she figures it out, I'm sure it'll be a few weeks, we'll do another video showing installing the final fixtures. All right. See you out there. Bye.